What do you think is the most important thing for making money? Is it capital, connections, opportunity, or luck? If you think that way, you might never make big money. The real answer is mindset. When many people think about making money, their first reaction is to find an opportunity. But Hill tells us, the real source of wealth is actually in our minds. He said something particularly classic. Thought is the starting point of all wealth. What does that mean? It means your thinking pattern determines your wealth level. Let's first talk about the power of desire. Note, the desire mentioned here is not greed, but a strong craving for wealth. Hill found that all successful people share a common trait. They have an exceptionally strong desire for wealth. This craving isn't just talk. It's deep in their bones. For example, if your current monthly salary is $5,000, it would be nice if it could rise to $8,000. That kind of thinking is too mild. It's not enough to push you into action. But if you strongly desire a monthly income of $30,000, this desire will drive you to learn new skills, seek new opportunities, and break out of your comfort zone. But desire alone is not enough. You also need clear goals. Hill emphasized that vague wishes never become reality. Only specific, clear goals have the possibility of being achieved. Many people say, I want to get rich. That's too general. You need to say, I want to earn 1 million within 3 years by opening an online store. That's much more specific. And this goal should be written down. POSTD, where you can see it every day, constantly reminding yourself, with a clear goal. Next comes the power of faith. Hill said, whether you think you can or you think you can't. You're right. This sounds a bit mysterious, but it actually makes sense. Your subconscious mind guides your actions based on your beliefs. If you deeply believe you can succeed, you will unconsciously look for ways to succeed. If you think you can't, you will find all sorts of excuses to justify your failure. This leads us to the role of the subconscious. Hill believed the subconscious is the bridge connecting our individual mind to universal intelligence. It sounds a bit mystical, but it's actually easy to understand. Haven't you had this experience? When you focus on a problem, the solution suddenly pops into your head. Or you meet someone who can help you in an unexpected place? This is the subconscious at work. The subconscious is like a faithful servant. Whatever command you give it, it will execute. If you keep thinking, I'm poor, I have no money, the subconscious will find evidence to prove you are indeed poor. But if you keep thinking, I am rich, opportunities are everywhere, the subconscious will help you discover money-making opportunities. So, controlling your thoughts is really important. But positive thoughts alone are not enough. You also need specialized knowledge. Hill distinguished between two types of knowledge, general knowledge and specialized knowledge. General knowledge is what we learn in school. It's useful but cannot be directly converted into wealth. Specialized knowledge is the key to making money. It refers to in-depth knowledge and skills in a specific field. For example, knowing many historical anecdotes is general knowledge, but if you are proficient in online marketing, knowing how to sell through short videos, that's specialized knowledge. You don't necessarily have to master specialized knowledge yourself. You can also acquire it through a team. Steve Jobs couldn't code, but he knew how to build an excellent technical team. Jack Ma doesn't understand technology, but he knows how to find the best technical talent. This leads to another important concept, the mastermind. Hill found that almost all successful people have their own mastermind group, a group of people who can provide him with advice and support. These people could be your partners, mentors, friends, or even competitors. The key is to proactively build such a network. Many people nowadays talk about the importance of connections, but Hill emphasized this decades ago. He said a person's achievement often depends not on what he knows, but on who he knows. Of course, this doesn't mean you should curry favor with the powerful, but rather that you should learn to build mutually beneficial relationships with imagination is also an important tool for creating wealth. Hill divided imagination into two types: synthetic imagination and creative imagination. Synthetic imagination combines existing concepts and ideas to create something new. For example, someone combines food delivery with mobile phones. Creative imagination is capable of generating entirely new ideas. But for most people, synthetic imagination is sufficient. You don't need to invent something revolutionary. Just being able to recombine existing things can create value. For example, someone combined fitness and socializing emerged. Someone combined education and thus edutainment products were born. But having an idea isn't enough. You also need execution. Hill emphasized that successful people can make decisions quickly and persist in executing. Many people fail, not because their ideas are bad, but because they hesitate and miss the best timing. I've seen too many examples. Many people saw when short videos were just emerging, but most just watched and waited, feeling they weren't professional enough, not interesting enough, etc. By the time they figured it out, the had passed. Those who started early, many have become influencers now, earning pots of money. Of course, when making decisions, you also need sufficient information for support. Hill suggested that before making important decisions, we should fully gather information and consult expert opinions. But once decided, we must execute resolutely and not be changeable. Speaking of persistence, this is another key factor for success. Hill said persistence is the direct path transforming desire into wealth. Many people have had business ideas and even taken action, but gave up when they encountered difficulties. Truly successful people are those who can persist in the face of difficulties. When Jack Ma founded Alibaba, he was rejected countless times, but he didn't give up. When Ren Jinfei founded Huawei, he also experienced countless setbacks, but he persisted. The commonality among these successful people is their superhuman persistence. But persistence doesn't mean stubbornly sticking to one method. Hill emphasizes intelligent persistence. That means when you find the method is wrong, adjust in time. But the goal must not change. For example, if your goal is to earn 1 million, initially you choose to open a physical store, but find it doesn't work. You can switch to e-commerce or do something else. But the goal of earning 1 million must not change. Next, let's talk about the transmutation of sex. This concept might sound a bit strange, but it actually makes sense. Hill found that many successful people can transform sexual energy into creative energy. This doesn't mean abstaining from sex, but learning to control and channel this energy. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful human energies. If utilized properly, it can generate immense creativity. Many artists, inventors, and entrepreneurs enter a state of self-forgetfulness during creation, a state often accompanied by the sublimation of sexual energy. Of course, this concept is relatively abstract for ordinary people. The important thing is to learn to control your desires and invest more energy into valuable things. Don't indulge in low-level entertainment. Spend your time and energy on learning, work, and creation. We mentioned the power of the subconscious earlier. Let's go a bit deeper here. Hill believed the subconscious is our channel to connect with infinite intelligence. Through meditation, prayer, autosuggestion, etc., we can input positive information into the subconscious. Then the subconscious will help us find ways to achieve our goals. This might sound a bit mystical, but there is a scientific basis. Modern psychological research shows that the subconscious does influence our behavior and decisions. When you focus on a specific goal, your brain automatically filters relevant information, helping you discover opportunities. For example, when you want to buy a red car, you suddenly notice many red cars on the street. The number of cars hasn't changed, your attention has. Similarly, when you focus on making money, you'll find opportunities everywhere around you. The brain is also an important tool. Hill compared the brain to a broadcasting and receiving station, capable of transmitting and receiving thought vibrations. This concept might have seemed advanced at the time, but now we know. The brain does produce electromagnetic waves, and there indeed exists some subtle connection between people. Haven't you had this experience? When you think of someone, they suddenly call you. Or when you encounter difficulty, someone suddenly appears to help you. This might not be just coincidence, but the result of thought vibrations. Of course, we don't need to fully understand this mechanism. What's important is to believe in the power of thought and learn to use it. Through positive thinking, you can attract positive people and events into your life. The sixth sense is another concept Hill mentioned. He believed the sixth sense is the pinnacle of creative imagination, the link connecting the finite mind with infinite intelligence. Many successful people have strong intuition, enabling them to make correct judgments at critical moments. This intuition is not innate. It can be cultivated through training. When you focus on a certain field for a long time, you develop a keen sense for that field, able to detect opportunities and risks others cannot perceive. For example, when an experienced investor sees a project, they can often intuitively judge its prospects. This intuition doesn't come from nowhere. It's based on years of experience and accumulated knowledge. Fear is the biggest enemy on the path to success. He'll summarize 6 basic fears: the fear of poverty, the fear of criticism, the fear of ill health, the fear of loss of love, the fear of old age, and the fear of death. These fears hinder us from pursuing wealth and success. Among them, the fear of poverty is the most common. Many people dare not start a business, dare not invest, dare not try new opportunities, precisely because they fear failure, fear becoming poor. But Hill tells us that poverty itself is not terrible. What's terrible is the mindset of accepting poverty. The fear of criticism is also very common. Many people dare not express their ideas, dare not do things differently, because they fear being criticized by others. But you must know that all successful people have experienced criticism and doubt. The key is to have your own judgment and not be swayed by others' opinions. To overcome these fears, first, you must recognize their existence, then use rational thinking to counter them. When you feel fear, ask yourself, is this fear reasonable? What is the worst possible outcome? Can I bear it? If you can bear it, then go ahead bravely. He'll also mention a very important concept, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is not just a moral requirement, but a strategy for success. In the business world, credibility and reputation are the most valuable and trustworthy. And consider your clients' interests. Clients will trust you and be willing to cooperate long-term. If you always think about taking advantage or deceiving clients, you might gain some benefits short-term, but in the long run, you will lose more. I've seen many business people. Some always think about how to earn a bit more from their clients, resulting in severe client loss and their business getting worse. Others always think about how to create more value for their clients, resulting in more and more clients and their business getting better. He'll also emphasize the importance of service. He said true wealth comes from providing valuable service to others. The more valuable the service you provide, the greater the return you receive. This is an eternal business principle. For example, if you are a barber, you should not only cut hair well, but also make clients feel comfortable and happy. If you are a salesperson, you should not only sell products, but also help clients solve problems. Only then can you build long-term client relationships and gain sustained income. Time management is also key to success. Hill found that successful people share a common trait. They highly value time and know how to use it effectively. Time is the fairest resource. Everyone has only 24 hours a day. The key is how you use it. Many people waste time on meaningless things, like scrolling through short videos, playing games, idle chat, etc. Successful people spend time on valuable things like learning, thinking, and building relationships. Hill advised us to make detailed time plans, ranging every day, every hour. Of course, plans should be flexible and adjusted according to the actual situation, but having a plan is better than having no plan. Health is also the foundation of success. Hill believed both physical health and mental health are important. If you are not physically well, you won't have the energy to pursue wealth. If you are not mentally healthy, you won't have the right mindset to create wealth. Nowadays, many young people work extremely hard for money, neglecting their health. As a result, their health deteriorates, and they don't earn much money either. This is not worth the cost. The truly smart approach is to pursue wealth while also maintaining a healthy lifestyle. He'll also mention the power of habit. He said 95% of our behavior is determined by habit. If you want to change your life, you must change your habits. Successful people have successful habits, like waking up early, reading, exercising, thinking, cultivating good habits takes time and perseverance. But once formed, they run automatically, without needing much willpower. For example, if you develop the habit of reading 1 hour every day, you can read dozens of books in a year. Your knowledge level will greatly improve. Finally, Hale emphasized the importance of action. He said knowledge only has value when transformed into action. Many people read many books, attend many lectures, but just don't take action. As a result, nothing changes. Come to die in light. Watch videos and earn cash.